There, and welcome to another video from HEGARTYMATHS. It's Mr. Hegarty here, and in this video we're going to talk about highest common factors, which I abbreviate to HCFs, and lowest common multiples, LCMs. This is the first video on that topic. So what we're going to try and do today is we're going to try and find the highest common factor, the HCF, and the lowest common multiple, the LCM of two numbers by listings. Okay, here's the big idea. Now, we've seen in a previous video what a factor and a multiple are, okay? And we talked about it in terms of M&M. We said, imagine there being a number like Marshall-Mathers, let's say. A factor is what makes up Marshall-Mathers. And he's got two parts, his Slim Shady part and his M&M the Singer part. So it's what makes you up. And a multiple is many of you. So, for example, if we had the number, let's say we had the number 8, its factors, well, we said, well, because you can write 8 as 1 multiplied by 8 and 2 multiplied by 4, they're the only ways, the factors are 1, 2, 4 and 8. Now we said the multiples of 8 are many of 8, so that would be 8, 1 8, 2 8s is 16, 3 8s is 24, 4 8s is 32, 5 8s is 40, etc. Okay? Now, imagine we have two different numbers. So let's take another number. Let's say another number is 6. Okay. Now, what are the factors of 6? Well, because 1 multiplied by 6 and 2 multiplied by 3 makes 6, the factors are 1, 2, 3 and 6. And the multiples are 1 6, 2 6s, 3 6s, 4 6s, 5 6s, etc. Okay? Now, the aim of the game here, what we're trying to do is find the highest common factor of the two numbers. What is the largest factor of both numbers? Now, what is in both of these lists? Well, there's a 1 in both, there's a 2 in both, there's a 4 in one but not both, there's an 8 in one but not both, and same with 3 and 6. So the highest factor that they have in common is actually 2. So the HCF of the two numbers 6 and 8 is going to be equal to 2. Now the lowest common multiple is the smallest number in the multiples list, in both of the multiple lists. Now if we look through, what number do they have in common? Well, they both have a 24 in common. They may later have other numbers in common later down the multiple list, but the smallest common multiple, the lowest common multiple of 6 and 8 is going to be equal to 24. And that's what we're trying to do in this exercise, okay? So we're going to do this by listing out the factors, listing out the multiples, finding the highest factor they have in common, finding the lowest multiple they have in common, and that's how we're going to get our answers. Okay, so let's have a go at an example. Example 1. Let's find the highest common factor and lowest common multiple of 12 and 30. In order to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to write the factors of 12. The factors of 12, well, we can have 1 multiplied by 12, we can have 2 multiplied by 6, we can have 3 multiplied by 4. So its factors are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. Notice how I write them like this. All start with 1 multiplied by 12 so that I can go down this list and up this list to have them in order. You must have them in order, otherwise it's hard to see the common factors. Let's just, while we're at doing 12, let's do the multiples. The first multiple is obviously 12, then 24, then 36, then 48, then 60, then 72, and then 84, and it goes on and on and on. How far do I go on? Well, you can't tell, but you go on until you have a number that's in both of these lists. Okay, let's do the same thing with 30. The factors of 30, well, we have 1 multiplied by 30, we're going to have 2 multiplied by 15, we're going to have 3 multiplied by 10. 4 is not a factor because 4 multiplied by a whole number doesn't give you 30. 5 is, we have 5 multiplied by 6, and then they start repeating themselves. Remember, write them in the order I've done there because we can read 1, 2, 3, 5, then 6, 10, 15, 30 as the factors in order. So we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15 and 30. And the multiples are going to be 30, 60, 90, 120, ... and they go on. So all we have to do here is find the highest factor that they have in common. Which factor is in both of these lists? Sorry, here are the two factors. Which factor's in both? They both have a 1. Okay, they both have a 2. They both have a 3. They both have a 6. And 6 is the largest of the numbers. So 6 turns out to be the highest common factor. So the highest common factor equals 6. Let's look for the lowest multiple they have in both lists. They both have a 60, and that is the smallest number in both lists. So therefore, we can write down that the lowest common multiple of these numbers is 60, and we're done. Okay, next example. You may want to pause the video and have a go. If you've picked this up straight away, you may want to pause the video, have a go at this one yourself, and see if you get the right answer to me. I'll go through in 5 seconds. Okay, so we want to find the highest factor that they share and the lowest multiple that they share. So let's list out the factors. 16 we can have as 1 multiplied by 16, 2 multiplied by 8, and 4 multiplied by 4. So its factors are 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. The multiples are 16, 32, 48, and keeping going with that, we're going to have 64, and we're going to have ourselves 80. We don't know how far we need to go till we have a number in both lists. Okay, so for 20, we're going to have 1 multiplied by 20, we're going to have 2 multiplied by 10, and we're going to have 4 multiplied by 5. So the factors are 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. The multiples are clearly 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, going onwards. Right, so let's see the highest factor they have in common. They both have a 1, they both have a 2, they both have a 4, and that's what they're the numbers they share. So clearly you can see that 4 is the highest number that is in both their factors list. So the highest common factor is going to be 4, and the lowest common multiple, I'm sure you can see that the number that is in both lists, the first number that is in both lists is 18. So that means the lowest common multiple in this case is equal to 80. Okay, time for you to answer 3 questions yourself, then we'll do an exam question. Here are the questions I'd like you to answer. I'll show you the answers in 5 seconds, so pause the video and have a go. And here are the answers. The answer to the first one is the highest common factor is 4 and the lowest common multiple is 12. The answer for the second one is 8 and 40, and the answer to the last one is 15 and 20. Okay, so lastly we're just going to finish off with an exam style question. Here it is. It's talking about trams leaving Piccadilly, and they go to Eccles every 9 minutes and Didsbury every 12 minutes. A tram to Eccles and Didsbury both leave at 9 AM. When do they leave again at the same time? I'll let you have a think about this and see how this links to what we've just done. In 10 seconds I'll show you the answer. Okay then, I'm going to show you the answer. Here's my answer to it. Remember, when doing exam questions, a picture paints 1,000 words. So draw yourself a picture, it really helps make it clear. Really what they're asking here is the lowest common multiple of 9 and 12. And what that means is the next time they will both of the trams will meet at the station together, and it turns out that the lowest common multiple of these numbers is 36. Make sure you answer the question because it asks you what time that will be. So seeing as they both left at the same time at 9, it will be 9:36 AM. That's it for this video. Hope that made sense on finding highest common factors and lowest common multiples by listing. Thanks for watching.